the all-new Opel Vauxhall Astra Sports Tourer, the estate version. That's today on a little bit different review here on Autogefühl, your #1 resource for in-depth car reviews and your #1 community to discuss cars. With Thomas. Me, Thomas M, is reporting today, and at this very event Thomas B, another Thomas who visited that one here and tells us his impressions there. And you can directly read from him on our German blog for our German readers, and here we'll give you also all the impressions in English, of course. And well, it was a very exciting one because a lot of you guys were really looking forward to this review here with the estate version. We have had the hatch version so far, so you can also check out the review of the hatch version. It will be linked in the video description. This one here now about the estate, about the car that has just become Car of the Year 2016. Let's first take a look at the exterior. Well, it's from the front basically the same as for the hatch version. You see there's a new kind of comp style in the front grille to make it a little bit looking more modern. And there's also kind of a transition from the front grille to the headlights. A very contemporary new look, not really a revolution in the front, but I think Astra buyers also do not expect really a revolution in the design. Here we can see 17-inch alloys, and the side profile is that one that is very special, and I think it also differentiates it to the hatch version. You see especially from the side rear part where that chrome element is carried out, and it seems to be like the roof is flying a little bit. That was intended by design. You see here, that one. It's a really interesting design line, I think. Or what do you think? I think maybe this one here, I'm not usually an estate fan, but this one here probably looks even better than the hatch version in this case. The length rather remained the same with 4 meters and 70, wasn't really changed that much if you compare it to the predecessor version of the car. That's how the car looks. Open all of the doors, and there are also special electronic mechanisms for the rear hatch. We'll soon show you that one as well. This color here, by the way, is called Brilliant Power Red. It's a very beautiful and fitting color for the car, definitely. Or what do you think? So this function here has been introduced as well. You just move your foot beneath the trunk and then it's opened. Especially good when you're carrying a lot of stuff and you don't have free hands on that one here. That's really a practical solution, and Thomas B tested it a couple of times and obviously it worked pretty well. And we have had several tests of that one from other cars, and sometimes it didn't really work that well, but here it did. What is very important, well, the slider mechanism is pretty similar. You have a lot of space in here, and to me most important stuff, you can flip the rear seats with a separate knob. That's a really good thing. Beneath this one here, not a replacement tire. Sometimes you can get them optionally. And the electric closing of the hatch here. There's new space in the trunk, plus 80 liters, maximum of 1,630 liters. And you can also reduce how far the hatch is going up with the knob you've just seen at the inside of the door. So you can maybe, if you're in the basement garage and you don't want it to open that far, the hatch, then it's also possible to, for example, just to open it to 3/4. Now let's hear more of the seats from an Opel expert.
So when we talk about all-day versatility, and if we talk about activities with a family, especially in the wintertime, I think the 40-20-40 makes it clear that we are working without any compromises. Because if you really see this here in the middle, you can fold it down, and in principle you don't have any barrier at all, really till the roof. So you can load through anything you would like to. And just to make it very clear, you see this piece of plastic? This describes the size of, let's say, a conventional skillet, which is on a normal 40-60 split in the seat systems. Yeah, and I think here you can see the difference quite well.
And now let's move on further to the interior. We've heard something of the luggage compartment of the seats. The luggage compartment, by the way, is even a little bit bigger than the one of the Golf variant, and bigger than of the Opel Insignia Sports Tourer. Also in the front there's a lot of space. You've seen it here with the glove box. AGR means Aktion gesunder Rücken. That's a special German seal for very comfortable seats, but those top seats are usually only available with full leather. Then Opel OnStar is also on board here with the higher trim level of this car. How that works with the OnStar system, we have a separate video about that one as well. It's linked in the video description. 5.3 liters was the consumption on 100 kilometers on our test ride. That's really fairly okay for this 1.6 liter diesel. All the buttons, the controls, well, they're pretty solid. Could be from a little bit higher quality, definitely. Some are a little bit small, but you had a lot of comfort. For example, here seat heating, seat cooling, even a heated steering wheel is optionally available. That's one feature I really love, and they offer a lot of different stuff already in the compact class, that's for sure, and it was also one of the reasons why it was scoring that well in the Car of the Year vote, because a lot of stuff already offered right here. For example, also for the exterior, the LED matrix lights also available for the compact class. Everything else has become a little bit cleaned up. For example, also the infotainment screen, which well is rather lying very flat in the cockpit and making it look very clean and rather elegant. I like that new style of the design, and most of the stuff you control by touch, except for the buttons at the steering wheel. Now look at the seats. Of course, in the lower trim levels you can get the cloth seats. Isofix, that's for attaching the child's seat. The rear space has been improved significantly, and although the outer length remained rather the same, there's more space on the inside than in the previous version. That's one very important thing for the car, so you easily get along also in the rear. That's again, by the way, the button for the hatch control, maximum opening 3/4, or just put it off, that you can't open it from the outside. Now, two of this IntelliLink system, you can just connect your phone via Bluetooth and listen to music, streaming and stuff. But it's also possible to have the new connection systems like Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and here we are testing it with an iPhone 6. Testing Apple CarPlay, then you have to plug in the phone with a cable, and then it's possible to mirror your smartphone, and it works pretty well. Thomas B has tested that for us, for example with the telephone and showing the contacts, and so that's a really good thing, definitely, because well, you just want to have the same visualization that you have in the smartphone, at least kind of, and so you get easily along with that one if you're used to that one from your smartphone and have every stuff in there. I'm usually just using Bluetooth connection. Then I basically have the same stuff in there, but well, it will be more relevant if you, for example, also use the GPS via your smartphone. That is of course not possible via Bluetooth, but will be possible then with a cable connection, definitely. So tell me what you think about this new linkage system, and I think it's really a step forward, and of course needed in every modern car. We'll also show you more about those systems here throughout the year. This year, 2016, will be the year where almost every new car will have the full smartphone link system, at least optional, of course. Well, it won't come from a serial production, but you have to pick that optional in. Here also, Thomas is showing us how you can cruise around the map, or also can transfer some GPS data, and also switch to the radio so they get an impression how the multimedia system is working. Some of you requested that we take more detailed look into the infotainment system, and we're doing it here right now because it becomes, of course, more and more important, definitely. And one more very fun fact about the car, well, it's not really fun, it's rather important. The car has lost weight 190 kilograms, and then you can also put some new stuff in there, like this new infotainment system. So I think we got a quite good impression of how the infotainment system works, and I think, well, the responsive times, they look also quite okay, and also the visualization. I think we've seen better ones so far, but generally we can be quite content with what we see. Or what's your opinion here on the infotainment system? Tell us that. At this very event, you maybe realized it on the road, especially our friends from Portugal. We were in Portugal again testing this very vehicle. You know, we're always on the way for you throughout the year, mostly through whole Europe, sometimes even far more abroad, but mainly in Europe, of course. A lot of times in Germany. You can scroll around in the map, as you see, also smartphone-like with zooming in and zooming out. If it takes a little bit too long, I think that could work definitely faster. So, and what about driving, and what about the engine? The engine we tested here, 1.6 liter diesel CDTI, 8.9 seconds from 0 to 100 kilometers, and a 6-speed manual transmission combined. They're new engines, they're supposed to be more silent, and they use less fuel. Yes, they are more silent, you can see it here, for example, the new insulation. Let's hear more from the expert.
So this is a new 1.6 bi-turbo diesel engine. It's a 1.6 liter, 160 horsepower. What we really focused on during the development was the torque of this engine, and we achieved that with a two-stage charging system. So in this engine we have two turbochargers, one extremely small that is very good for low engine speed, and a bigger one that is what you need to get the full power, the 160 horsepower. Joking, we are saying that this is working like Asterix and this is working like Obelix, trying to cover the full range of speed from 1000 RPM to 4000 RPM.
So how did the driving feel? The new suspension does a quite good job. It's not a real stiff car, it's more set on the comfort one, and when you're driving very fast, the car does tilt a little bit. And it's definitely set on that one. If you want a rather sporty ride, you have to wait for the sports version that will also come later, of course. They deliver those ones again. And for example, I've driven some OPC or GTC versions in the past from the predecessor model, and those ones really felt quite good as for the stiffness, definitely. But here everything is definitely set on comfort, and I mean, for a family sports tourer, that's also good. Shifting is quite easy, there's hardly any resistance when shifting, so our test driver was really satisfied with that one here, and so you also don't have to go for an automatic gearbox. Quite interesting thing is, by the way, that for the very small vehicles, Opel is recently offering new kind of automatic gearbox, not the really true ones, but the automated manual transmissions. I'm not really convinced of those ones, but here in the Astra you get, let's say, also the usual converter gearboxes as well. What else for driving? Well, we said consumption will be above 5 liters with this diesel engine, which is really quite good. And one thing we really definitely realized is that the engine is more silent, so you have a smoother and more silent ride on the inside then. So because the past diesels, they seem to be quite loud when riding, and this one has definitely improved right now. So overall, well, it's a quite solid car, offers a lot of space on the inside, and especially interesting because it hasn't grown. A lot of manufacturers let their cars grow and grow and grow and grow. Here, same counts for the hatch and for the estate. It did not really grow but it grew on space on the inside, and that's one of the main facts, definitely. So greetings from all of the Autogefühl Thomas. This one here is our Thomas B, our Thomas Blachetsky. You've also seen him in the Autogefühl making of, and also from me, from Thomas M, Thomas Maischak. Best greetings here from our review from the Opel or Vauxhall Astra Sports Tourer. I hope you liked this very episode, and of course we'll also see each other at the next full Autogefühl episode. Then again also with Thomas live in the reporting again.